All right, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to a brand new video. Now, the state of PUBG has been in a really odd place recently. The game has been very strange when it comes to how content is being handled and how they're really treating the game from the developers' end and their perspective. A lot of people are quite upset about how everything is being handled at the moment, even amidst the entire world situation at the moment. It's just in a very odd place, to say the least. Despite all of that going on, we have a fair bit of good news to talk about in this video, finally. Something positive to go over. A pretty big update is hitting this game. It's one that I think you guys are going to be really happy with, and we'll have a good indicator on what they're going to be doing about the pressing issues in the game going forward as well. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the entire community letter that was promised. A couple of months ago, they have fully admitted that they are late on that, and to be fair, that is pretty disappointing for us, but nonetheless, we still have quite a bit of stuff to go over. So if you guys enjoyed the video today, then give it a like rating, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and also I want you guys to let me know down below in the comment section, are you still playing PUBG at the moment, or have you moved on to other games? What are your current feelings on the game at the moment? Because while I know a lot of people have started to try other games at this point, there is still this very hardcore audience that no matter what, even if they're not playing the game super actively, they're always interested on what's happening and the most recent developments in PUBG. So let me know if you're still playing the game currently or not. Now, this morning, just a couple of hours ago, PUBG released a very small teaser trailer for their next season. We knew this was coming, we just weren't entirely sure when, and the title of this teaser trailer is literally just called 7. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and watch this really quick. It's less than a minute long, so I'm going to let you guys just take a look at it, and then we'll talk about it right after, so enjoy the trailer.
Lynn's stock plummets as more lawsuits are made public.
Not be suitable for some viewers. Families
Cut in half.
visiting Dinoland. Look down at the world.
Greeted by Lynn
Out from
Corporation.
dinner.
Psychopath.
What is the Lynn Corporation doing with families affected by this horrible tragedy?
Extinct in the water.
At Cali Bistro, the prehistoric talk of the future. This is Dinoland.
Now, that's pretty much what the trailer has to offer. Of course, it's pretty short and to the point, but what it does show is that Vikendi, of course, is going to be the featured map back in the rotation. Now, Vikendi Remastered, for those of you who were able to get your hands on it when it was available, it was a PUBG partner exclusive, but you could jump into people's lobbies and get some hands-on for it yourself, and you're watching some gameplay of it in the background. Now, this was to undergo even more changes between this beta test that we played and then also the full release of this map. Now, it's not clear exactly what they're going to be changing from this version of Vikendi Remastered to the final build. Now, it did get somewhat mixed reviews, I'd say. The community was overall split on Vikendi Remastered. Some loved it, and some absolutely despised it, thought it lost all of its identity and charm, primarily because of the removal of many of the snow areas in this map. Needless to say, it was pretty polarizing, which surprised even me, because I figured after Vikendi went away, this was a map that we could all, as a PUBG community, get behind and really appreciate, but it seems to be pretty split now, so I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. But aside from a couple of reworks that we would expect in the final build versus the beta, we didn't play with any new weapons in this one, and I imagine not only that is going to be different to the final build, but also we're probably going to see some new vehicles, I would say. We do know one gun for sure that is coming, and this was leaked when I believe the last patch hit the live server. It was around for a couple of minutes, and I saw it for myself as well. If you went over to your weapon mastery tab and looked at sniper rifles, you would see at the bottom there was another section that was somewhat codenamed, but it was for the Mosin Nagant, obviously. This was hotfixed very shortly after. You couldn't see it after a couple of minutes, but I was able to catch it for myself, and now when you hovered over the actual item, there was no in-game model for the sniper, so there's not actually a picture for it yet, so we can assume that it's still being reworked or modeled to some degree and will be implemented into the game. But what I think is going to happen with this weapon is this will probably be a Kar 98 replacement on Vikendi Remastered. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be exclusive to this map, but that will most likely be changing. The weapons themselves are very similar in terms of look, performance, and feel, and so it would make sense for them to switch it up. This is something the community has suggested for a little while, and I feel like is just now starting to come to fruition. And also, if I'm remembering correctly, this has been the longest drought in time where we've went without a new weapon. I believe the last new gun was added was the DBS. Like, I can't even remember if that's exactly it because it's been that long. We're definitely due for a new weapon sooner or later, and it looks like the Mosin is going to be exactly the one that's coming. I would say that this will probably end up on other maps rather than just Vikendi Remastered, but expect to see it on this map nonetheless. Now, moving on, I want to talk a little bit about some new features that we can probably expect in the future. We talked about this in a video, I want to say around a month ago. There's a new C4 that's coming that isn't related at all to the Kraken Sticky Bomb. They're two entirely different entities, and the new C4 is fully like kitted out with its own animations and everything, which will probably be added to Vikendi Remastered as they tend to tilt more destructible environments in their games. The key difference separating the Sticky Bomb and the C4 is, of course, the manual detonation feature, which you would expect from a proper C4 item, and we've known about this for so unbelievably long, and we've seen it in so many iterations. Like, I feel like this is finally the real version that we can probably expect somewhat soon. If you caught my last video about Fantasy BR, we talked about a new system of crafting that was implemented in there. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you go watch it, but basically Fantasy BR brought an entirely new concept to PUBG of crafting items, and of course they have fully admitted this is a weird and wild, wacky concept for PUBG that we're probably just playing around with at the moment, but it is a concept that they want to see how it plays out. While it's too early for me to definitively say whether crafting in PUBG would be a good idea or not, I think it's at least worth considering that playing it in a strange mode is probably the best way to test it out. They mentioned the reason they didn't do that in PUBG Labs is they needed more of a mass test, indicating that most players aren't really using the Labs feature. So it looks like they're going to be getting most of their data from how players respond to the crafting system just within Fantasy BR and how that's going to be implemented into the real mode. And of course, if you want more information on that, go watch the Fantasy BR video, but I'm going to make sure to keep tabs on this just thread, I guess, we have of what they might do. Now I want to talk a bit about the ranked mode that I feel like may never come out at this point. So ranked mode was supposed to be a thing at the end of 2019, I believe. There was a podcast that was on earlier last year that they said if everything goes according to plan, then this ranked mode should be fully, functional and ready by the end of 2019. And of course, here we are about mid-2020, and it still hasn't happened. Now, given the current situation in the world right now, I kind of understand. They have mentioned in dev letters and on Twitter and stuff that they've been hit particularly hard by this situation, and so you have to cut them a little slack where it's due. But just as an update on the ranked mode itself, I'm not so sure what to expect from it, and even if it's going to be popular at all. My concern with ranked mode is that unless it's implemented near perfectly, I don't think many people are even going to be bothered about it. There's a very small percentage of the tiny fraction of the player base that will even show a degree of interest in a ranked mode, because there's already ways to play like competitively if you want to do such a thing. There's like Face It and stuff like that. I guess this would be officially the first real leaderboard system PUBG's had, as it's changed like a million times over its life cycle. To some degree, I really understand that it is hard making a consistent leaderboard for a battle royale game, because how exactly do you determine skill? Is it based on time survived, how many kills you get, or just wins? Because all of these things aren't exactly that easy to correlate with 100 other players, let alone an entire leaderboard. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it, but personally, I have almost zero interest in a competitive ranked mode in PUBG at the moment. Ask me a year ago, and I think I might be more down to play it, but right now, just based on its current implementation and how I think the state of the game is at the moment, I just really couldn't be bothered. Again, this is another thing. I'll keep you guys in the loop. I'll keep tabs on it and let you all know what's happening. But just truth be told, I really don't care about it too much, and I don't think it's going to be that popular. Now, another thing I want to talk about is the community letter that they ended up being late on. This is admittedly partly to do with, of course, the world situation, but also the fact that they probably don't know exactly how to handle these very complex situations yet. The letter was supposed to come out sometime last month and was going to be just an entirely massive piece of content addressing all of these issues, and I think it's going to be coming pretty soon, and I'm hoping it's fairly substantial in like addressing cheating and performance issues, basically all the problems that people are having with the game at the moment. It's unfortunate the letter is late, honestly, because they got to put something out just to at least try and help stop the bleeding, even if it's just a band-aid fix. Like this game is shedding players by the day, and some major responsibility has to be taken by someone, and this has to get cleaned up, or else inevitably inevitably bad things will happen to this game. As much as I love it and as much as I want the best for PUBG, it just feels like they don't exactly know how to handle all of these. And we'll see what happens when this community letter drops. All of this stuff you're going to want to look out for. I will keep tabs on it and everything. And so I wanted to go over a quick little update about what's going on. Vikendi Remastered, expect that very soon, as well as like a new sniper rifle is going to be coming. Probably some other unique like weapons and items that we haven't even discovered yet should be added along with this new season. And of course, along with every brand new release of a PUBG season comes an entire content roadmap, which we will be covering here, and I'll be sure to keep you guys informed on everything that's happening. So make sure to subscribe and stick around if you're new to the channel. But of course, let me know down below if you guys are still interested in the game itself, or are you still playing PUBG even somewhat regularly? I'm hoping this season is at least some kind of turnaround for the game and can, start to bring players back in. If they're able to fully address many of the, hardcore problems that it's facing, then I think this game would start to see a little bit of a resurgence, which would be wonderful. But we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. But again, let me know your guys' opinions down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and also go follow me over on Twitch if you haven't already, where my live streams are going to be. Link is in the description down below, and I'd love to have you over there. But have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you in the next stream or the next video. Take it easy, everyone, and peace out.